conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, madam. Can I help you?
Yes, please. I bought this small TV set here recently, and when I got it home, I couldn't get it to work.
Oh dear. Well, I'd just better take some details for this worksheet, and then we'll have a look at it.
Okay.
Here we are. Now, can you give me your name, please?
Philippa Hutton.
Could you spell Hutton, please?
That's Hutton.
So, Hutton is the correct answer. Now we begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, as the recording is not played twice. Listen carefully to the conversation and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, madam. Can I help you?
Yes, please. I bought this small TV set here recently, and when I got it home, I couldn't get it to work.
Oh dear. Well, I'd just better take some details for this worksheet, and then we'll have a look at it.
Okay.
Here we are. Now, can you give me your name, please?
Philippa Hutton.
Could you spell Hutton, please?
That's Hutton.
Thank you. And your address?
13 Glen Avenue, Westley.
Do you know the postcode?
Yes, it's WE5 8GF.
And what's your phone number?
My home number is 01748 524 965, and my mobile number is 07745 276 145.
OK, got that. Now, did you still have the receipt for the television?
Yes, it's right here.
Let's have a look. Right. So you bought it on the 5th of June. That's 2 days ago. So what exactly is wrong with the TV?
Well, I bought it 2 days ago so I could watch TV while I was cooking for the family. That's why I just bought a nice small one. It could fit on the shelf next to the dining room door. Anyway, when I got it back and plugged it in, there was no response. Nothing at all. No lights, no sound, no buzz.
And there are no electrical problems in that room?
No, nothing. It isn't just me. My husband is very good with these things, and when he came back, he checked the plug, the fuse, the connections, everything. He couldn't work it out either.
That's very strange. Right then, I'll have a look at it. I'm actually not busy right now. I can finish it in about half an hour. Do you want to wait here or come back later today or tomorrow?
I'll go to the supermarket across the road and get some shopping done, and I'll come back in about an hour. Is that all right?
Yes, I'll be able to tell you what's wrong by then. By the way, your job number is J25, but it doesn't matter as I'll be here when you get back.
See you later then.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 6 to 10.
Hi there. All my shopping's done. Have you finished?
Oh yes, it didn't take me long. It was actually the first thing that I checked out, so I had it all figured out in about 5 minutes.
What was the problem then?
It was a loose wire. It's amazing that this television even got through its tests. I suppose that nowadays not everything is tested properly, and they just assume that everything will be all right. With all the things that can go wrong though, with bad connections, faulty chips, the screen dynamics and everything, it's amazing they all don't go wrong more often.
So, what can you do about it?
We can repair it by tomorrow, or we can just give you a new TV. We can send the old one back to our suppliers.
That sounds best to me. I'll take a new one, please.
Do you want the same model and everything?
Yes, please.
Oh dear, I'm afraid we don't have that one in right now, but we will be able to have it in tomorrow morning if that's okay.
That's fine. And while I'm here, I want to get something else. It's my nephew's birthday next Thursday. What would you suggest?
Well, we've got lots of things here, obviously. How old is he?
Let's see. He's the same age as my own son. He's 10 now and his birthday is next week.
OK. We've got lots of computer games over there. We've got iPods in the corner if he likes music. He can download music from the internet onto his computer and then onto his iPod. There are lots of accessories for computers. He could need a new mouse, a wireless keyboard, a camera to use when he's chatting. There are lots of possibilities, and it depends, of course, on how much you want to spend.
I'm pretty sure he'd like a computer game, although I know he's got loads already. I'll tell you what. I'll go back and ask his father what would be best, and I'll come back tomorrow and buy something while I'm picking up the new TV. What sort of time shall I come tomorrow then?
We open at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd hope our other shop would be able to send the new telly over this afternoon. They might only manage it tomorrow morning, though, so come over at about 11.
I'll come an hour later at noon then, as I'll be swimming at 11.
That's fine. I won't be here, though, at noon. I'm taking an early lunch then, and I'll be back at 1.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be okay. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, madam. Bye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of section 1. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a policeman giving a safety talk to new students at the University of Westerly. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully to the safety talk and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning everyone, and thank you for coming to this lecture on safety. This lecture is of course optional for all students at Westerly University, but it has been laid on by your Students' Union to help you, and both the staff at Westerly Police Station and the staff here at the University urge you to attend the other lectures like it, and also to get your friends to come too. So, that's enough from me. I'd like to introduce you to Police Constable Fair from Westerly Police Station, who is going to give you some hints on keeping safe. PC Fair.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for allowing me to come here to talk to you. It really is a great idea for someone from the police force to come and talk to you, as it may save you time, money, and also it may help to protect you. I hope I don't sound condescending when I point out some ideas, as a lot of things really are just common sense, but it is often forgetting these common sense things that can lead to problems. First of all, the thing that students are most likely to suffer from, whether they are in digs or in hall, is theft. You hear a lot of terrible stories about muggings, rape and fraud, but these are not really that widespread, and we'll talk about some of those things later. Thieves know very well that student lodgings are a good place to find electronic goods, wallets and bags and the like with little or no protection. So make sure that your room, house or flat is securely locked each time that you go out. Don't leave valuables in the open where they can be spotted from the window. See if you can get an extra lock on your window too. If possible, when you're out, try and leave your valuable things in a cupboard which has an extra lock on it. So much for theft prevention. If you do get burgled though, there are ways to protect yourself here too. Try and get household insurance. Make a valuables list of all the items that you own, including things like keys and bank cards. Estimate their value and take the list to any reputable high street insurance broker and get a quote for household insurance. This is not very expensive and it will give you peace of mind. Another thing you can do is to get an ultraviolet pen and write your name and address on all your valuables. This will not be able to be seen in normal light, so your goods won't look any different, but your goods will be forever marked as your property.
Before the safety talk continues, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the safety talk and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now, more seriously, we must look at your personal safety. This especially applies to women. Men, of course, are usually better able to protect themselves and are under less risk in any case. First, let's look at where you live. Again, wherever you live, you should make sure that your door is locked securely, even when you're at home and even if you're not alone, as people can leave your house without you knowing. So, in hall, lock that door at all times, especially at night. If you're in digs, keep the front door locked at all times and your own bedroom as well. If your bedroom has no lock, then get one put in. Get your landlord to do it. They usually will. It's a small price to pay for safety. Look at the windows in your house. Again, especially the ones in your bedroom. Make sure the window fastens securely and try to get an extra lock fitted. Keep curtains closed at night, and also during the day too if you don't mind, so that people can't see in. Get a chain fitted to your front door too, and always have the chain on when you're at home. If you see someone often hanging around near your home, then let someone know in your hall, or the welfare office in the union will be able to advise you. We, of course, at the police station will always welcome you, and we will never scoff at your worries. We will not laugh at you, and we will take everything seriously. Next, let's look at when you're away from your home and walking about the streets. Naturally, you're more at risk at night, but even in the daytime, try to keep to busier areas which are well lit, and always try to have someone with you when you're travelling on foot. At night, do the same, but be more careful about it. If you're leaving the union late at night, take advantage of the excellent minibus service that your union puts on for you for your safety. The minibus gives priority to women and it will take you to your door. There are 2 minibuses available every night, leaving at regular intervals. If there's not one available, wait in the queue until one arrives. They will get you home safely in the end. If you're not at the union and by yourself, try to get a taxi back rather than walk. I know it's more expensive, but it's worth the cost. I'm sure your parents would prefer you spending the extra money to make you safe. Also with taxis, always take a licensed taxi from a proper taxi rank or call a reputable company. Keep the number of a reputable company in your wallet and saved in your mobile. Then you'll always have access to a safe way home. I hope I haven't panicked you. Very few people do actually get attacked, but of course it does happen. By following these basic safety rules, you vastly reduce your chances of being a victim. The cardinal rule is don't be alone. Always have a friend with you if possible.
That is the end of section 2.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear a discussion between 2 work colleagues and their manager about the restructuring of their company. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Come in, both of you. I believe you wanted to talk to me about something, is that right?
Yes. Basically, all the staff are concerned about what the restructuring of the company is going to mean for them. None more so than myself and Nam, as we are the newest members.
As I said to all staff at the meeting last week, there's no cause for concern. There will be no compulsory redundancies. All redundancies will be on a voluntary basis.
Yes, we understand that, but to tell the truth, we just want a little reassurance that our jobs are safe.
Look, Anne and Penny, the company isn't going to be short-sighted and let its bright young minds go. Besides, we've already met our target for the number of voluntary redundancies we want to secure. In fact, there's a waiting list. You know as well as I do that the age profile of staff at this company needs to come down. A lot of our employees are close to retirement age and are just going through the motions until they can take their pensions. That's why we decided on this redundancy initiative. We want to encourage those that would be happy to leave to do so and employ younger, more motivated staff.
I guess that makes us feel a little better, but we're also worried about the upcoming salary review. What will it mean for us?
Given the fact that the company's motivation for this restructuring initiative is not to cut costs, you needn't be worried that there will be a negative effect on your salaries. We are running a very profitable business and we will reward our top performers in the upcoming review. Both of you fall into that category, so you can expect a healthy bonus and salary increase. Simple as that.
That's good to know. Another thing on our minds was the fact that with all these voluntary redundancies happening in the next few months, there will be a lot of positions opening up higher in the company. What we were wondering is, will the recruitment drive be an internal or an external one?
Obviously, we will recruit internally where possible. That has always been company policy. So, if you're asking me will there be opportunities to gain a promotion in the near future, then the answer is very definitely yes. The type of candidate we would be looking for has a proven track record and is performance-driven.
How can we improve our chances of getting promoted then when the opportunity arises?
Well, in the meantime, be prepared to take on additional responsibilities, especially those relating to the management of other members of staff. Obviously, the higher up you go in the company, the more involved you'll be in managing people. What the management team is looking for then is proof that you can work effectively with and manage other members of staff.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
One more thing.
Go on.
This project you've given us to manage, is it a test of our abilities?
I guess you could say it is a test of sorts, but look at it more as a chance for you to prove yourselves. Actually, now that I have you both here in private, can we talk about that a bit?
Of course.
OK, Penny, let's start with you. Has the timescale been agreed yet?
Yes. You said we have a total of 8 weeks to bring the product to launch. So we've decided to allocate 3 weeks at the beginning to product research and prototype testing.
Very good.
Then after that, we are going to spend a further 3 weeks formulating our marketing strategy and doing some research and testing on a sample of the target market itself to get some feedback.
And presumably the last 2 weeks will be devoted to the launch?
Exactly.
Now, let's talk estimated costs.
Well, you've given us a total budget of £100,000. Of that, we're allocating 50% to product development and testing, a further 25% to marketing, and £25,000 will be spent on the launch.
Penny, give me a breakdown of the launch costs, would you?
Sure. £10,000 will be spent on hiring and decorating the venue, £10,000 will be spent on promotional work, and the remaining money will be used to pay for catering and administrative costs.
I'm very happy with that, to be honest. As I said, you guys should stop worrying. You're doing a fantastic job, so keep it up.
Now turn to Section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a talk about how to attract birds to your garden. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
The best way to attract birds to your garden is by satisfying their basic needs, which are the need for water, the need for food, and the need for safety. Birds drink water and bathe in it, and many also use it to make mud to build their nests. A simple bird bath, which can be nothing more complicated than a shallow dish, will therefore attract birds. Don't use tin pans, as these get hot under the heat of the sun. In fact, a cement bowl is probably going to be the most effective bath to use. But make sure that it is no more than 6.5 centimetres deep. The best time of all to attract birds to your garden, and indeed the time when they need your help most, is during the winter season. During summer, birds can find most of their food on their own and are largely self-sufficient. In winter, however, they benefit greatly from the help of their human friends. Often, when it is cold, an ice or frost crust may form over the ground, covering the birds' natural food supply. It is when this happens that they really need your help with feeding. It is probably best, though, to start feeding from late autumn onwards. That way the birds will become used to finding food in a certain spot. So later, after the onset of the winter, they will become a permanent feature in your garden. Put food out at night so that the birds will find it the next morning. And whatever you do, make sure that you make your feeder accessible from a raised landing area only. Otherwise, you will find yourself attracting some unwanted pests such as rodents like mice and, worse still, rats. Continue feeding until early spring, when food becomes plentiful again. If you cannot serve them insects, then try to give the birds suet, a form of beef fat. You can buy this cheaply at pretty much any meat market, so it won't cost you an arm and a leg. As well as being nourishing, suet also has the advantage of not freezing during cold weather. Many birds will also enjoy crumbs, nuts and seeds. You can even serve them boiled potatoes and hard-boiled eggs, provided these are finely chopped. Other foods you probably have lying around in your store cupboard may also be used. Try feeding them raisins, figs, dried fruit generally, biscuits, boiled rice, and so on as well. If you want to build a birdhouse or nesting box, I would encourage you to proceed by all means. These offer fine protection, especially for the smaller and more vulnerable species. You can buy ready-made nesting boxes and shelves for a very reasonable price these days. Alternatively, if you fancy doing a little DIY, they are not very difficult to build either. Most birds prefer houses made of rough slabs of wood covered with bark, which to the birds feels quite authentic and natural. If at all possible, try to match your birdhouse to the surroundings as well. So, if you paint your birdhouse, be sure to use a dull grey, green or brown colour. The simplest type of birdhouse to construct yourself consists of a hollow branch nailed to a tree. When you are erecting your birdhouses, be sure to place them a good distance apart from one another. Few bird species enjoy nesting in close proximity to competitors of their own kind. Cleanliness is vitally important too. Your bird nest should be cleaned out yearly to make room for new nesting material to be brought in by their seasonal tenants. Early autumn is the best time to prepare your birdhouse, as the new season's chicks will have hatched and flown the coop, so to speak. Once cleaned, your birdhouses will be ready to welcome their spring visitors once they return to your neighbourhood early the next year.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.